how do we reshape our relationship with vulnerability? And not as a sign of weakness, but as a sign of strength. And because I think that's going to be very important for in an age where we've got burnout, we've got mental health issues amongst doctors. We know suicide is very high among doctors. And most of the time it's because we just don't want to share our vulnerabilities, or we don't want to reach out. I don't know if you can shed some light on that.
Well, I love this talk by Brené Brown. She's now an inspirational speaker. I think she calls herself a researcher of vulnerability. And there is no such thing as courage without vulnerability, because in order to be courageous, you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable in the first place. So I think just like anything is to normalize it. And I think actually compared to where we were a decade ago, I think this is very much becoming much more important. Emotional well-being, work-life balance. So I'm sure that you yourself, Ram, you're fantastic. You're always, sort of so vulnerable with what you're talking about. And you talk about the real things that people are thinking, but they may not dare to say. But once you dare to say it, once you dare to speak about it, it allows somebody else to open up. And I think it's that idea that actually it's not about saving face. The more you are able to talk about the real issues, it makes other people feel less alone, because they feel that they can talk about it too. So I think it's just that understanding that being able to be authentic, not only does it make you feel better to be able to be authentic, but you are going to help somebody else to rise up with you as well, because they're going to feel empowered to talk about it too.
We see a lot of the younger generations making those decisions, things that we would be too afraid to do. When you got into med school, it was a hard graft, and you just stuck your head down and work hard and go home late. But we're seeing the newer generations so saying, no, actually, this is not the way we need to do things. But sharing your vulnerability, understanding failures, opening up. Everyone talks about the woke culture. Is that too woke, or is that actually us evolving as in humanity?
I personally think it's an evolution. I think this whole idea about sort of being more authentic, being able to, because when I think about failure, what I think is a lot of people think, okay, failure is, I failed my exams and I failed this. But I think the most important failure is failure to yourself for not actually being authentic to what you want to do. And you know when that is. Everyone knows when that is. Because, for example, if you're doing things that you don't want to do, it's that email that you actually look at and your heart sinks.
Yeah.
Whereas there are other things that you can do that you would spend weeks on with no sleep, and you're doing it because you absolutely love it. And then you need to find out what actually nourishes you and what drains you, and have the courage to make the choice to do more of those things that nourish you. I'm not saying you can get away from all the things that drain you. Of course, we have to pay taxes, and there's a lot of things we don't want to do in life,
Yeah, we all have tax bills.
Exactly, we have to, but we can fill our lives with the things that actually nourish us more, and be bold with that. I think because there's this idea that, and especially in medicine, I think, we have a very streamlined path compared to others. You finish university, you go to foundation. If you foundation year, then you've got your resident years, and then you become a consultant. Whereas in other industries, perhaps you finish your university degree, the ocean is wide. So I think because of that, you look at your peers, you look at your seniors, you think, okay, so that must be what I must do. And therefore you assume, if I'm thinking of doing something differently, there must be something wrong with me. And actually there isn't. And I think understanding that if you're going on a different path, it's a different path. It's what's right for you. I used to sort of look around and think, is there anyone here whose life I actually admire, whom I want? Is there a life I want? And the answer was no. Then I thought, is there something wrong with me because I don't want the same things, that I have a different idea? But actually, be the change you want to see.
Yeah.
Because why not? Life is short. You can be empowered. And more importantly, when you have that mission and you have that vision, it is going to empower you and take you through all the difficult times that you can imagine. But you're actually doing something that you want to do and enjoy. And people will support you. You'll find your tribe. But I think it's just daring to know that it's okay. You can be different. You can actually do it right. And as a matter of fact, society will thank you for it, because you're going to make something that's going to mean the same to someone else, because it's as meaningful as it is to yourself.